So I don't understand why they keep changing characters from like the olden times and let's not make new things. Well, it's because they did try to make new things like Dustborn and no one played it. So they're gonna, try to, continue to ruin already pre-existing and pre-established characters. They did one of the most notable examples is the Star Wars franchise. They basically turned that franchise to basically a dead husk of a former self. And we all know the massive downfall of the Star Wars franchise. It is something that's gonna be in the pop culture history books. Star Wars used to be the biggest franchise on Earth. Now it's a franchise that people are like, whoa, why? And I know they're gonna try to bring back the goodwill with the Mandalorian getting a movie, but again, I don't know if even that will help the state of Star Wars. We'll have to wait until 2026 to see that, but Netflix's Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft, so attempts to, as some fans fear that the show is a random retcon of Lara Croft. So basically, they want to retcon older characters and change older characters, and of course, we all know a lot of times, people want to change all these older characters to make them less offensive, to make them, less, polarizing or controversial. But usually, it turns out that it doesn't work. Look at Disney. Look at what happened to Disney. What happens to Disney, is absolutely hilarious. That they basically wanted to double, triple down on this woke garbage, and basically everything they made was failing. Everything they made was floppy. Okay, yeah. Here in the comments, they said that I see Rella is falling immediately. Oh boy, they left the comment section at home, haha. Someone needs to tease Netflix what the definition of a teaser trailer is. Why is that her iconic prisoners that were not present in the trailer? Well, are her guns. Okay, yeah. And simply wrote, well, she was cool covered, cocky, before they added trauma, grief, and daddy issues that made her practically insufferable. Okay, and is this, what the need for world to be tortured? Is this an American thing? Do your heroes always have to suffer? And it is pretty funny, why can't they just have heroes at a school? They just, do stuff. They're badasses. Okay, like Doom. Okay, I don't really know much about Doom's backstory. I think Doom was like the guy was like sent to Mars, but again, Master Chief, the whole point of the characters are badasses. You don't need to add trauma, grief, and daddy issues to make those characters badasses. Okay, that's why those games are so popular. Okay, yeah. And of course, the critics are gonna be like, how dare you dislike it? They tried to get us banned for they really thought they would win with the Acolyte, banning people online because the Acolyte was a major blow to Disney. The failure of the Acolyte was a major blow to Disney and the Walt Disney Company. And there's still a lot of violence in the animation, right, does not feel as graphics as the games as well. Again, the whole thing of animations for kids, of course, Hollywood is still going down that route. That what it kept saying is that we will go away for who stands up for herself and Cena gets a villain, man, woman doesn't matter. Yeah, and yeah, but I think the problem is a lot of people just don't care for the show, and a lot of people are upset that the show is nothing like the actual game itself. Okay, and it just seems that it's like there's all these missed opportunities. They keep having with these video game movies and shows. And it just seems that they keep having these missed opportunities with these shows and movies based off of video games. Like the Borderlands movie could have been very successful. Okay, if they just made it like the games, but it just seems that Hollywood doesn't care, and they just want to inject agendas. And it seems that these stuff continues to do worse and worse and worse. So you try to get people banned off of YouTube. That didn't work. So what they're gonna do? They're gonna have to listen to us. They're gonna have to listen to what we're saying. Okay, keep wokeness out of entertainment. It isn't that difficult. Okay, it isn't that hard. Okay, you don't have to change existing characters. to make them quote unquote more relatable. Okay, the whole point of heroes and superheroes is that they are heroes. Okay, you don't need to know the backstory. Some of them they do have a backstory, like Batman, but sometimes it could just be the simple, oh, he or she is a hero, and they're gonna save the world. They're gonna stop the bad guys. Okay, that's why people praise Puss in Boots: The Last Wish so much. Okay, is that people praise the villains because the villains they had an irredeemable villain in the movie. They had a character that was you couldn't redeem them no matter what they did, no matter what you did, no matter what you said to them. And we're talking about Jack Horner. He's irredeemable. You can't redeem him, and we need to bring those irredeemable villains back too. Not every villain needs to be sympathetic. Okay, yes, it's always good to have a villain that people can understand, but it's always good to have the fun, irredeemable villain that we all know and love. Okay, but Hollywood does not understand that. Okay, and Hollywood continues to try to make every character relatable, which does not work all the time. The original Tomb Raider games were not bounded in realism. Okay, it was kind of like Indiana Jones, basically like that. Indiana Jones didn't have any redeemable villains. Okay, but yeah, that's about this video here, and a lot of people do not like the show. And of course, there's gonna be those people who are upset her boobs are too small. Like, really? Like, that's what they're upset over. But a lot of people don't like the fact that they're changing the character to make her, quote unquote, more relatable, which is stupid. Okay, you don't need to make a hero relatable to the average. You don't need to make a character relatable. Okay, really? Okay. Then we need to make the character suffer through traumas and issues, and you don't need that. Okay? A hero can just be someone who saves them. You don't need to give a character this massive, massive backstory. Okay? Yes, it does add a depth to a character, but you don't need to give the character. No one wants to have trauma in every single show. Okay? I guess this is a TV show, it's not a video game, obviously. But it just seems that they just want to retcon certain characters. Like, you can have a silent protagonist. You can have a character that, is like that. I don't know why it's like this thing we have to move on from. Kind of like with graphics in video games. Sprites are seen as something that we have to move on from. It's a thing of the past. Even though sprite art is pretty cool, and I kind of find it sad that most AAA developers, once we get past the N64 era, that's a thing of the past. It's limitations, okay? But a lot of people appreciate it nowadays. And the same thing with, like, movies, okay? And games, okay? There are tons of movies that are basically just, there's a hero, he beats the bad guy, and that's it. You don't really have a lot of depth to the character. It's just a fun movie. Fun show. It's about the action scenes, like John Wick. John Wick, dog dies, John Wick kills a bunch of guys, and there is, you basically say, oh yeah, John Wick hates people who kills his dog. It was not a very complex storyline, and people praise that movie series, but, yep, they continue to try to record characters for no reason, change characters for no reason. Lara Croft doesn't need to be relatable to the average person, okay? Lara Croft is a hero-seeking adventure. That's what it should be about. Not about, Lara Croft has trauma. Lara Croft is, depressing. Like, no one wants to, no one wants to hear that and have that in their stories. And that's why Netflix and all these, and Hollywood continues to struggle, and also these game companies continue to struggle, because they want to make games available to the modern audience that they cannot seem to find. Okay, goodbye.